What's up guys, Derek here, back for another VOD review. Today we're doing a VOD review of YBY1 because, one, YBY1's a beast. Obviously, one of the best players in the world, I would say, is actually maybe even an uncontroversial statement with how well he's done on North American ladder when he's climbing, how well he's done on the Vietnamese ladder. He's been to World Championships and done very, very well. So I feel like it's pretty uncontroversial to say he's a top tier player. But also, one of my viewers actually submitted this game to me. They said, this is a really cool game from YBY1. You should go into it blind and just watch what happens. And so that's what I'm doing here. So if that person's suggestion is bad and this VOD sucks, I'm permanently banning them from my Discord. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll see what ends up actually happening this game, because I don't know. Obviously you guys will probably have a better idea of it than I do because of whatever my title and thumbnail is, but I have literally no clue what is going to occur in this game, so you're gonna get my unfiltered reaction to it. Decides to pre-level here, which is already a very YBY1 type thing to do. It's a little bit, in my opinion, worse in this meta where 3 costs aren't as strong, and also the fact that we're holding onto Darius pair. But YBY1, he loves getting to level 4 as quickly as possible. So yeah, he's gonna pre-level here, even holding Darius pair, which is kind of wild to me. But yeah, let's look at 2-1 Augment here. We are in Scuttle Puddle, so we're gonna have a lot of extra gold to work with. We don't want to play any kind of 1-cost reroll, though also who wants to play 1-cost reroll regardless. Yeah, I don't really like any of those augments so far. We do get Portable Forge and Raining Gold, both fantastic options. Probably lean Portable here because of the fact that we already have so much econ from Scuttle Puddle. We can just go Portable here. Raining Gold, I wouldn't be that shocked if he takes either, though. But yeah, we're going to take Portable here. Okay, so we saw a Darius 2 there. Let's go back and look at the shop again, because we're on 2x speed. YBY1 has a little bit more time. We see a Darius 2 in that shop there, and what else is there? There's a Thresh, a Tristana. So we can play a couple more duelists here. We have the Thresh and the Yasuo and the Ahri, so we could actually play a pretty solid Fated board with Darius 2. Yeah, we can actually play for win streak here pretty hard. So yeah, let's check this out. We have DFG and Anima Visage. DFG is just not an amazing item, so you probably have to take Anima here, and you have the Thresh to put it on. If we didn't have the Thresh, I actually could even see it just being DFG here for Darius. I wouldn't lose my mind if he went DFG here, but I think Anima, because we have the Thresh, is pretty solid here. And yeah, we can just play this board, find these guys. And okay, so I didn't actually talk too much about the item slams, but from these slams, there aren't too many things you can make. Gargoyle is a solid tank item and synergizes amazing though with the Anima. The only thing is it leaves us with his Guinsoo Darius, which is like, it's not actually bad. You know, Darius gets that on hit on his abilities after he, or on his autos after he casts. So it's not really like the end of the world. It's not what you traditionally think of as like a Darius item. You think of stuff like Hodge, BT, you know, these like frontline type items that you end up moving to Yone late game. But I can certainly see this. Also, I could see this fight actually being a loss. This is really bad positioning. It's so close with how this fight goes, but the fact that the Darius actually wrapped around the right side here and aggroed onto our Darius straight up lost us that fight. I think we actually could have won that fight if our Darius was like a little bit like further up next to the Thresh. If our Darius was like right here, he wouldn't have wrapped onto the right side, which is unfortunate. YBY1 just didn't have time to scout all of his opponents and see, you know, what was going to happen there, but that's actually really unfortunate. I also have to call out that YBY1 is using the Bard cam. Usually he has cam on, but I guess, you know, he's having a bad hair day or something, so he made his camera Bard. I know Kai turns his cam into Satoru Gojo, but YBY1 turns his into Bard. Really just, you know, it tells you something about somebody. We get 2 component anvils here from the Aphelios encounter. It's really awkward, and I guess with the Aphelios here, we can think about just playing towards like a Fated angle. The Guinsoo Slam makes sense for that. We picked up the Aphelios, just go for like a GS here, I guess is your option. What else would you go for? Yeah, I don't know why he thought a while on that one, but I feel like it kind of, it's either GS or yeah, if it's a fight where you don't need to slam, this is great stuff out of YBY1. If you fight someone really weak, don't slam the GS. You might not even slam the GS because this is a fight where we kind of need it. Ooh, and I like the way this positioning worked out. Is Darius actually wrapped to the left side? It's literally like the exact same fight as last time. We're still gonna lose it because this guy's got a 3-item Darius. But it's a much better fight for us, right? If we had wrapped the same way, we could have seen this being, you know, like a much worse fight. Deathblade, Red Buff, Last Whisper, all options here. Probably just go for the Deathblade because it's on a 3 cost. Yeah, I like that a lot. So yeah, he holds out on the item so that he can go for a slightly better Aphelios item. Also keeps the opportunity to build Red Buff open, the opportunity to build Last Whisper. I know in one of my videos recently I was talking about the idea of like a Red Buff or a Last Whisper Aphelios, and people were like, oh, he actually does just go for the GS and he's just going to go IE. But yeah, I was talking about the idea of like a Last Whisper Aphelios, and people are like, well, Aphelios' ability Sunders, you don't really need it on Aphelios. And that's true to some degree. The thing is, it's that his ability Sunders, which means you're not getting Armor Shred until you cast, which is a lot. You know, a lot of Aphelios' damage, yes, comes from his ability, but a large portion of it comes from just his auto attacks. So that's why I tend to like to still build Armor Shred when I'm playing around Aphelios. But in this spot, looks like we're just going to go for the GS all along and then save this sword for either a Deathblade or an IE. Just Gwinsu plus damage on our Aphelios, and we're going to worry about the heal cut and the armor shred later. We'll see where that puts us. Also doesn't necessarily have to be an Aphelios game, could be an Ashe game pretty easily. These items work on those guys. Outside of that, there's not too much as far as like Gwinsu holders. Like late game, you could get to like an Irelia who holds it like okay, but like Kai'Sa's a really bad Gwinsu holder, so ideally we're not playing towards Kai'Sa this game. The Faded opener also transitions pretty easily into Ashe if you want to play the Faded version of Ashe. I really like that Invoker Lilia version, but I mean the Faded version of Ashe is also perfectly serviceable and makes a lot more sense from this spot. We already have Yasuo too. You know, we're holding on to this Ahri. Maybe we end up playing like really vertical faded. We will see. Yeah, surely you make gold here. Surprisingly, he wanted to hold the extra Yasuo over the extra Ahri. I'm not really sure why. I guess he's really confident that he's not going to play Ahri late game, but I'm surprised by that. And he does end up getting a sword here, so he can just make Deathblade and then hold this belt for something like Redemption. So our item economy looks really good. 3 damage items built and sitting on 2 tank items here. Ooh, really scary that this person has a Wandering Trainer with a Fortune Emblem, because if they find +1 Fortune at any point in the game, they kind of just auto-win the game. If they find it at 3-2, it is game over. I don't think it's possible to win a game when somebody else has 7 Fortune, unless their name is A3 Soju, and then sometimes they go 8th. Augment-wise here, I do, wait, yeah, we don't have Econ Augment here. It is still, so I mean, it was not the first Augment. What was the first Augment again? I just remember, yeah, I mean, you cannot take Gargantuan Resolve from this spot. Epoch I tend to like with these kind of comps because you can find smaller upgrades on the way. You can find like Aphelios 2 or Thresh 2 before you get to level 8. And then it can allow you to go for 3-star stuff. Once again, though, you do fall into the kind of trap where it's like an Econ portal, so do you really need an Econ Augment? And Best Friends is a solid Augment in general. I'm curious to see what he takes here. I'm stuck between these two. I feel like I would lean towards Epoch, but the way YBY1 plays, I feel like he might end up taking Best Friends, but we'll see. Yeah, he doesn't like Epoch, and then you can't possibly take that. So yeah, we are just gonna go Best Friends here. He's gonna move items over to Aphelios at this point. Interesting that he chooses now to move items over to Aphelios, because I don't know, I feel like, I mean, I guess you're getting Sniper in now, and obviously if you get 5 Faded in, I feel like it's definitely stronger, but I almost feel like Darius is still... The thing is, though, the Deathblade is just a much better item onto Aphelios. Okay, I don't hate it, but I'm a little surprised. I mean, I don't know, Aphelios, much better Gwinsu holder than Darius. I'm such a Darius fanboy. I feel like this unit does insane work in the early game, but, I mean, these are Aphelios items. They are not items for Darius. Pick up a Yorick 2, which is just going to be a behemoth that's going to sit on our board until we get to something like an Ornn. It's not amazing because it's just not really a unit that we want to have on our late game board, and so we're spending a gold to get that upgrade, but we're on a 4 streak here, so I think it is worth to go for that to potentially, you know, get a 5 streak here, get a 6 streak, get a ton of gold in this spot. And it looks like we're fighting relatively weak boards, not too many people rolling at level 6, so we are going to be able to get to our 5 streak and make it to Carousel here with, yeah, 5 streak, really nice, and we can just level next round, probably roll a bit, actually, to pick up a Thresh 2 at least, maybe something else to put on this board, ideally like 5 Faded plus Thresh 2. So we still have that belt open. I think Redemption's the best possible slam from this spot. And yeah, we are just going to go for that. Just fantastic item here. We already have the HP. We already have the Armor and MR. Just give us that healing, that damage reduction. It's beautiful here. But yeah, I think I would go 7 here and roll a little bit. We're Thresh paired in this spot. There's a lot of stuff you could hit. You can also hit 5 Faded. YBY1 is like probably yapping to chat right now about something. He will level here. But the question is he going to roll? And looks like no. Looks like he's confident enough in this board that he can continue to play streak here. Seems like he's a little... I would have liked to see a little bit more scouting here from YBY1 to know if he actually needs to roll here. Maybe he's just got insane lobby knowledge and that he, scouted a while ago and knows that no one can be stronger than him. But I definitely feel like we should scout this lobby here, and if it is a strong lobby, we should certainly roll. This is the Malphite one where I'm not actually sure. Is this where your items get knocked off when you bench units? I don't know because I don't speak this language, but maybe. I guess we'll see once he ever benches. But the problem is he's probably not going to bench Aphelios or Thresh, so we might not actually get to see what this is for a while. What are the other Malphite ones? Is the one that cleaves the components, is that Malphite? Because it's a similar one to this, but I don't know if that actually is Malphite. Well, in any case, we're fighting this guy's board who, speaking of how strong Darius is, has this Darius too, has a decent amount of front line, but it's taken him a while to actually get through this Yorick to the Thresh with all these items. And also we got the cam back. Awesome. So good thing I didn't move my cam down there. I was thinking about it, but I was like, why should I do that? Ooh, this is interesting as well for my boy one. He is, at this point, hard committed to not playing reroll. He's pre-pumping to level 8. He's saying there is no way I'm going to actually reroll Aphelios in this spot. Maybe I just use Aphelios to get me to Ashe and I play around that, but he is not at all interested in actually playing the reroll version. I would at least wait until you see what your orb drops here, because hey, maybe you get dropped 2 Aphelios from orb, and then I would be interested in playing it, but yeah, YBO1 not interested in that. Picks up the natural Aphelios 2 and the Alawi, and because he's holding this Amumu, I do think it seems pretty likely that he is going to play towards the like faded Ashe type board. Also gets Invoker in here with the sniper from the Kog'Maw. And you also saw he rolled a little bit there, just a tiny bit, to pick up the Thresh 2. At that point, his board should be strong enough, especially with 91 HP, to allow him to push level 9. Yeah, really, really solid spot here just because of the econ from Scuttle Puddle. But of course, we do have to cap our board out high. There are a lot of people who are going to cap out highly this game. We also are fighting this person who has a Quinzu and a Porcelain spat, so they're probably going to end up contesting us. Augment-wise here, oh my god. I mean, okay, let's look at these options. He immediately rolls to the egg. I mean, we're 91 HP full win streak here, so I mean, it's not either of these, so I think that's pretty reasonable. Egg is an augment that, I mean, in this spot, I think it's perfectly acceptable to take egg. There's a little call to chaos, which could be pretty fun, but I mean, you're 91 HP. Yeah, he immediately rips that egg and says, this is going to be what I'm going to play around because my board's already strong enough. I can make it to 9 here. I don't really have to roll much more to spike my board. I can... Like, the main thing, though, is that we have a strong board. What is he doing with his cam? He's, like, trying to reset it, maybe, or something? He's, like, peeking out from under it. But, yeah, I think egg makes perfect sense in this spot. I really, really like it. The only scary thing is, it seems like Vietnam's meta, based on this game so far, is just a really, really aggressive 4-2 meta, because we saw a lot of weak boards, stage 3, into just... We just fought Kaisa 2. I feel like we fought a pretty strong board on 4-1 as well. So what is he doing with this camera? So I feel like that's just the meta on this server, which makes sense. I think a lot of meta is sort of consolidating towards that right now. There's some people playing like open fort type playstyle. We get some free rerolls here, so we're going to pick up actually a bunch of Threshes now, already at 6 Threshes, so maybe we actually do end up going through for Thresh through this game. It can actually fit when you play around Ashe. You can just play around Ashe instead of Thresh, so... or Ashe instead of Aphelios, and then just keep Thresh on your board, so maybe we'll end up seeing that. A lot of options left with this board. We only have 4 Aphelioses, and we're level 8, so it's going to be a little bit hard to play for like an Aphelios 3 this game, but you never know. We'll see what the rest of our game looks like here. But yeah, like I said, a lot of strong boards, actually, this stage, which is really scary for us because we're playing around 2-star 3 costs. Everyone who has a 2-star 4 cost on their board is just going to be stronger than us. We have Cloak open here. I don't know. I mean, there's a Thresh 2, or not a Thresh 2, but a Thresh. So that would leave us 2 off of Thresh. Oh, we can't end up picking it up there. I guess it's just Declaw here. 4-cost Declaw is not bad. And you have a lot of tank items. He looked a little worried here because he took this egg and he is getting kind of, I mean, not low yet, but he is a little bit low in this spot, especially relative to how big of an egg count he has. You know, he has to wait another, what is this, 9 rounds to cash out this egg, and if he doesn't win any of these fights, he will certainly be dead. He needs to, when you take egg, you need to start winning. And one of the reasons I was fine with taking egg in this spot is I thought, oh, Aphelios 2, Thresh 2, as long as we fight some not insanely strong board stage 4, we can probably pick up 1 win, maybe 2 wins, because our items are pretty good, but these fights don't look even close. He's losing every single fight down to 55 HP, so this is getting kind of stressful. The only saving grace is that we are pretty rich, and we're looking to just fast 9 it either at 5-1 or 5-2. So he's going to have to spike the board on 9, probably pick up like a set, play for 7 faded. Ideally find a Thresh 3 as well, though that's going to be harder to find when we're pushing level 9. Maybe an Ashe 2 and then just move the items over, but it's kind of hard to find Thresh 3. But yeah, I mean, this is certainly a scary spot. I can understand why my viewers submitted this game because it's a dramatic game, right? We had the very very solid early game into the egg into 4 loss here. This is not just an easy coast to a win type game here. Pick up another Aphelios here. We are also gonna have the econ from Scuttlepuddle, which means I have to imagine we're just going straight to 9 here. Next round, and he's gonna hold on to these units just for the possibility of hitting on 9. He's also holding on to these Aluxes in case he picks up Lysandra. Gets 2 component anvils, 3 component anvils, which is honestly a bit much here. It's kind of hard to play around them. We do end up picking up Lysandra, so we're gonna fit that on our board for sure, and then start picking up items potentially for the Lysandra. Pick up Ash 2 here. We also have this Orin that we can fit onto our board, and so yeah, we are gonna play this version of the board. He's actually gonna itemize the Syndra 2 here, just because she is just a better carry than Lysandra. Goes blue buff plus Nashor's plus Archangel. I love this itemization. You have so much stall in this comp, so Archangels I feel like is fantastic. So a pretty solid roll down, but still not a very close fight at all. We're fighting this Silas board here. Silas, if you guys watched my last video, you will know Silas is an absolute monster, so I'm unsurprised that we got completely destroyed that fight. And yeah, at this point, we're just rolling down to try to stabilize. We pick up a set here, but does set even really fit on the board? Oh, and I guess it was the Malphite one that just cleaves components. We're gonna get 4 porcelain in here now that we have the set. So yeah, we can fit set onto the board. Just play this. It's a 5 Arcanist to set up now, and then 4 porcelain. Gonna move all the tank items over to Alawi instead of the Thresh. We're also 4 faded. Oh, this board is kind of chaotic. Let's take a look at this board again in a sec, because I mean, yeah, this pivot is really, really scary. Also, we're down to 5 H. I mean, surely my viewer didn't. So, like, imagine if this game was just like an 8th and my viewer just completely trolled me with this submission. Okay, so this is the board right now. Our faded units we're playing are Aphelios plus the Syndra plus the set, and then we're also playing this random Ari, who is just a random +1 on this board. Normally, you're cutting this Ari for 4 Warden here, which I think is the cut that we're about to make. Yep. And get this in. Now the board fits a lot better. And now you can play the 4-4-4. 4 Porcelain, 4 Arcanist, and 4 Warden, which is a pretty cool version of the board. Oh, it is the one where we can move items. So he didn't actually even have to sell the Aphelios. He could have. I guess he still has Aphelios too here, but he didn't actually even have to sell that Aphelios. Maybe he would have sold it anyway. The upside is that we've made it to a decently strong board here. We have, the correct synergies, and we have our units very, very well itemized. So if we can win a few more fights, we can cash out this egg. We just tick down to 4. I think that doesn't count our win yet. So I think we have maybe 3 stacks left over. He's looking at potentially the red buff here because we still don't have any heal cut on this board. You can throw this onto set. You can throw it onto Aphelios. We already have a triple item set, so probably going to end up being onto Aphelios, but I guess we'll see. You can always pop these items off if you want. But yeah, down to 2 stacks. We just need to win the next fight. He's rolling it down desperately. And he is actually going to red buff the set here. He says, yeah, that's more important than a tank item here. I can just throw the last tank item onto Alawi. You could even throw Anima just to have maximum amount of like HP onto Alawi here, but he's just going to throw Anima here, Declaw here, and yeah, just itemize for whatever's best versus this guy, which is really smart actually. Just go the Bramble versus this guy because their damage source is mainly physical. We're going to win this fight. And so on 15 HP, we get the egg cash out. I mean, yeah, okay, I'm happy with this VOD so far. I'm really curious to see how it ends up. We get Fawn plus 2 duplicators plus a bunch of 5 costs. So that's our Lysandra 2 immediately if we want it. We just need to figure out what we want to actually add to this board. He's going to throw in a random Irelia for super, super random Sunder. Oh my god, and he's actually holding on to these duplicators. He didn't opt to duplicate Lysandra. I mean, we can play for like a 3-star 4 cost. At this amount of gold, it's pretty hard to play for 3-star 5 cost, I would say, but we do win this fight pretty well, so that's nice. I mean, I would be very scared here. I would be just using my duplicators because we're 15 HP, but hey, at least we've secured a top 4 here. He's going to put in a team builder. Lilia, because it looks like someone else is going for 3-star Lilia, perhaps. He looks at this. He's moving around this Fawn a lot. He's going to move the Sterax over to set, which is just a better item on him, and then we can just move a random tank item over to a Mumu. Yeah, I like this item setup here. Itemize here. Static Shiv. Oh yeah, Static Shiv looks really, really nice. Ooh, that is another set. Looks like he is hoping that maybe he can hit some kind of 3-star 5 cost this game. I think that's quite optimistic, though. I mean, with this many duplicators, right? With 2 duplicators, you only need to find 2 more sets, right? And the other big thing is that Set is a very uncontested unit. The only comp that you're seeing Set play in is this. No one is picking up Sets, and a lot of people are playing for Fast 9 type strategies where they're picking up a lot of 5 costs. So if these other 2 boards have a lot of 5 costs on them, you could see a world where maybe it's possible to hit this this Set 3-star. Like I said, I haven't seen the VOD, so I don't know if he ends up getting there. I mean, you'd love the play for content from YBY1. I think if this was tournament, he probably would have just used the duplicator and made Lysander too, but he's a content player for sure, and he is digging, trying to pick up this Set 3. We only got a few rounds left looking at the rest of the lobby's HP. Also, this fight looks really scary, but hey, at least we have the Lysander 2 to kind of back up our damage. Yeah, get through the rest of the front line, and we have the Set to work on. So yeah, I mean, this game pretty close to over. We really want to roll down and pick up a Set here, lock for it, and then get Set off Carousel. That would be the dream, right? Because that Set, I mean, it would be taken out of the pool, but you'd be guaranteed basically Set 3, and if you lock for it, then other people wouldn't even, know that you're going for it. We fight Clone here, which actually means that the other 2 people are fighting each other, which means there's no double kill potential. So we will have at least one more fight. We also pick up all of this gold here. Actually, really close fight. Oh my god, are we gonna lose this? Oh my god, we do lose this down to 3 HP. But is there a Set on Carousel? That's the question. Because if there is, I feel completely fine selling my board. There's a Faded Emblem plus Edge of Night here, but we can't pick this up. Oh man, I just wonder how strong this person's board is. Will he actually go for the sell board here? I mean, there's a Set where 1 off. You gotta go for it. We got the rolls on 2x speed. Can he pick up a Set? He needs to find one single Set through all of these rolls. Oh my god, it takes him he had so little gold left, but he does actually pick up the Set 3 at the last second. What the fuck? His opponent Set FF'd. That is so... I'm putting that person on my int list if they FF and I don't get to see my Set 3, man. That is so troll. But an incredible game from YBY1, a beautiful game. Thank you to my viewer for submitting that here. Let me pull up their name because that was a pretty... oh wait, my Discord thing is not allowing me. Coconut Head. Thank you, Coconut Head, for submitting this game because this was a really fun game to watch. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thanks for watching.